to proclamations and special presentations. 3A, oath of office for fire department promotions. Chief Walls to present.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's indeed, and Commissioners, it's indeed my honor to come before you to swear in our newest promotions. They've worked very hard on getting this promotion, and I'm really honored and so excited to see them into their new positions. So at this point, we'll have our new Battalion Chief, Jeff Boer, and his sponsor and family come forward. Jeff Boer is going to be our new D-shift battalion when we go to the 4th shift. So we're looking forward to Jeff, and he's willing to come off shift for 2 months to help us transition, a couple months to transition and get the 4th shift ready. So we're excited to have Jeff as our D-shift battalion, first ever D-shift battalion for us. And we have our Battalion Chief of EMS and Safety, Jeff Miller. So Jeff, if you and your family will come forward. As you know, EMS Chief, Battalion Chief Eric Gentry retired last month. So Jeff is taking Eric's place, and he's trained and ready to go and excited for the opportunity and the position. So if you turn and face your sponsor, place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jeff Boer.
I, Jeff Miller.
Having been appointed to the position of Battalion Chief.
Having been appointed to the position of Battalion Chief.
Do hereby solemnly swear and affirm.
Do hereby solemnly swear and affirm.
That I will support, defend, and obey.
That I will support, defend, and obey.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
The Constitution of the State of Florida.
The Constitution of the State of Florida.
The laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee.
The laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee.
And the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department.
And the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And so with their promotions to Battalion Chief, that left 2 lieutenant openings. So I'm proud to promote our newest lieutenant. So if Lieutenant Samson Van Olfen and his family will come forward. And Lieutenant Brian Benson. So Samson Van Olfen took Jeff Boer's spot. He'll be a C-shift lieutenant. And Brian Benson took Jeff Miller, who was an EMS lieutenant, so he'll be working days and as a lieutenant admin. I state your name.
I, Sam Van Olfen.
I, Brian Benson. Having been appointed the position of lieutenant.
Having been appointed the position of lieutenant.
Do hereby solemnly swear and affirm.
do hereby solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support, defend, and obey
that I will support, defend, and obey
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Florida,
the Constitution of the State of Florida,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Kissimmee,
and the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department,
and the rules and regulations of the Kissimmee Fire Department,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, you may.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Congratulations to all. We move on to 3B, presentation of the 2025 Festival of Lights Award winners. City Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Introduce our Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation to present this next item.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and elected officials, commissioners. This evening, as you recall, we had a Festival of Lights parade a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, I should say. And tonight, the Parks and Recreation team is going to recognize those participants with their awards for having some of the best floats. And with that, I would like to introduce Veronica Frink, our Events and Venues Manager, to present the awards.
Thank you.
Thank you. This year, we had over 10,000 attendees attend the Festival of Lights Parade. It's a very important event for us. It showcases the community, and it's great for the businesses in Kissimmee. So we're very happy for the participation. We had 66 floats, between floats and walking groups. So we're very excited to present today the winners over all of those entries that we had for Festival of Lights Parade. The best walking group is Victory Charter School. For best lights and also for best overall, the winner was Kissimmee Utility Authority.
Thank you.
Thank you. We move right on to 3C, Proclamation 2026 National CRNA Week. City Manager.
Commissioners, if you would join Laura Sanchez on the floor of the chambers to present the proclamation. And this is a proclamation for National CRNA Week. Whereas certified registered nurse anesthetists, also known as nurse anesthesiologists or nurse anesthetists, are advanced practice registered nurses providing anesthesia care to patients in the United States for more than 150 years. CRNAs are among the nation's most trusted professions. And whereas legislation passed by Congress in 1986 made nurse anesthesiologists the first nursing specialty to be accorded the direct reimbursement rights by Medicare. And whereas CRNAs are primary anesthesia providers in rural and underserved communities and continue to be the primary providers of anesthesia care to the U.S. military. And whereas CRNAs are qualified to make independent judgments regarding all aspects of anesthesia care based on their education, training, board certification, and licensure. And whereas CRNAs are trusted anesthesia experts caring for patients safely and compassionately, delivering specialized, cost-effective care to all patients from newborns to seniors for every type of procedure in all types of facilities. Now, therefore, the City Commission of the City of Kissimmee hereby proclaims January 18th to the 24th, 2026 as National CRNA Week in the City of Kissimmee.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. On behalf of nurse anesthetists everywhere, I'm honored and grateful to the Mayor and the City Council for the recognition of CRNA Week. The declaration reflects not just our profession, but the trust that patients place in us during some of their most vulnerable moments. I accept this honor humbly on behalf of my colleagues who work nights, weekends, holidays, and emergencies, always putting patients first. So thank you for recognizing their dedication, professionalism, and commitment to excellence. We are truly grateful for your support in this moment of appreciation.
The next item on the agenda, that actually has been pulled. City of Love.
Thank you, City Manager. Public hearings, first and second readings, there are none, so we'll move right on. Public hearing 5A, resolution to adopt and submit the First Amendment of the 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan and the PY25 CDBG Action Plan. Staff to explain. Ms. Francis.
Francis de Jesus, Development Services Department. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The City of Kissimmee has been working with the HUD office to apply for a Section 108 application, loan application. In order to submit an application, the city is required to include the Section 108 Guarantee Loan Program in the Consolidated Plan as well as in the Annual Action Plan as an eligible use. The intent of the application is to request $3 million for the renovation of the Heaven on Vine apartments. These funds will cover the remaining expenses needed for the renovation of the 123-unit development. The majority of the funds will be used to carry out the third phase of the project, which is the conversion of 43 motel units into functional studio apartments, as well as the renovation of the office and administrative space for the Haven. Payments on the loan will come from future CDBG funds and from program income generated by the property. This request has met the required 30-day comment period, and no comments have been received so far. I'm here to receive any comments you may have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Do any of the members of the public wish to speak on this specific item? Hearing none, we'll allow for discussion. Commissioners, any discussion on this item? Hearing none, motion to approve the resolution to adopt and submit the First Amendment of the 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan and the PY 225 CDBG Action Plan.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Alvarez. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. We're moving right on to hear the audience. We have several cards here, and we're separating some by item numbers. So we'll start with Ms. Stephanie Nelson. Your name and your address, please, for the record. You get 3 minutes, at which time the microphone will turn off on its own.
Good evening. I am here, I'm Stephanie Nelson, 1750 Sunny Street. I am here to address the board. I agree with what Ms. Evans will be saying about the 2.0 grant. The board should be held accountable, and retaliation against Ms. Evans is unacceptable for a city board or any government body. All this will be addressed. The retaliation will not be tolerated. Let that be heard. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Stephanie. We appreciate it. Ms. Lillian Evans.
Is there a clock somewhere?
3 minutes. Please name and address for the record, and at 3 minutes, your microphone will be turned off.
Thank you. My name is Lillian Evans. I live at Sunny Street in Kissimmee. I am here today to address a full board regarding a violation of my constitutional right of freedom of speech. I came to the city to a city-owned building owned by the people and funded by taxpayers like myself. I ask lawful questions, speak in the interest of transparency. Since doing so, I have been experienced actions that are deeply concerning. After raising questions about matters of public records and the use of public funds, I have faced retaliation. I have been bullied on social media, publicly targeted, and now I had the city code enforcement appear at my private property. I asked plainly who intentionally did this and why. Let me be very clear. I made no accusations. I have stated the facts. Asked lawful questions. This is not a wrongdoing. This is a civic engagement. No resident should fear intimidation and participating in local government. No resident should feel silenced, monitored, personal targeted for speaking up. And no resident should be required to provide personal information in order to speak publicly, only to later feel that that information used against them. True that. That is not transparency, that is not fairness, and that is not accountability. You are elected to represent the people, to protect our rights, and not to stand for what the right, not to discourage the public participation or speak against. Wanted to make sure everybody heard me. Speak against, God damn it. A board truly serves the community, welcomes questions, and responds with integrity, not retaliation. Let me also be clear about this. The people are watching, the media is watching, and I will not be silenced. I will continue to stand up and ask questions and fight for what is right because of transparency. It is not an option. It is a democracy. It is essential. I stand here not only for myself, but for every resident who is afraid to speak out because of what might happen afterward. And I thank all my veterans for their services. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Jose Barreto. Would you kindly step up to the podium, at which time you will say your name, your address. You get 3 minutes, and your microphone will be turned off. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jose Barreto. I live in Hidden Harbor Lane, Kissimmee. I am here today a witness to retaliation, and I believe it's being enabled. It's not outright encouraged by this board. My wife, my family, and I have personally experienced it. We are not observers. We are victims of what happened when residents refuse to follow the line. What is happening is not about one incident or one person. It's about a pattern of conduct by this board. Silence when retaliation occurs, complicity when residents are targeted, and selective outreach depending on who is speaking. My family was subject of a serious damaging accusation involving violence against a political opponent. These accusations absolutely went nowhere. No findings, no charge, no evidence because it was false. Yeah, it was allowed to circulate to stain reputations and intimidations. And no member of this board speak up. So I ask you directly, where is your courage? Where is your duty to the people? I know why no residents come over here because of fear. Fears of retaliation, fears of being targeted, and fears of coming to the next sample. And that fear exists because all the board allow it to exist, but I not bow down by intimidation. I will not bow down to the behavior of resembles authorization rule, where disagreements are punished and loyalty are rewarded. This is not a strong mayor system. Each of you were elected to speak, to question, and to hold power in check. When you fail to do that, you are not neutral, you are incomplicit. You allow to arrest records of residents to be brought to the publicity, yet to refuse to look inward. You avoid discussions about financial history, bankruptcy, and whatever everyone stated here are truly qualified to otherwise a multi-million-dollar budget. Everything is fine when it's a friend. Everything changed if you have an independent opinion. We are still here because we believe injustice will prevail. We believe higher authorities will eventually hear what is happening in this chamber. And when that comes, silence will not protect anyone sitting here.
Thank you. Your time is up. Ms. Olga Carino, you're up next. Thank you. Your name and address, please, for the record. You get 3 minutes, at which time the microphone will be turned off.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Olga Carino, and I live in Hidden Harbor Lane, Kissimmee. I am here to address the board. While I am fully aware that under the First Amendment, I allow it to address commissioners by name, I will choose not to do it today. I attended the last meeting, and I was a witness, was deeply troubling. I saw the way this board treats a constituent with disrespect. I heard comments made regarding Lillian Evans, especially about rooms, trailers, and RVs on her property. Shortly after those comments, code enforcement began targeting her home. That is not a coincidence. That is retaliation. This is an abuse of power and authority, and it should concern every resident watching. Government should never be weaponized against the people it serves, especially against simply asking questions or demanding transparency. We are also very aware that Mr. Jeremy Fetzer is likely next to speak. His repeated presence at these meetings appear less about public input and more about monitoring residents who speak out and attempting to discredit or intimidate them. That pattern is not lost on the public. What I witnessed from this board was unacceptable. Frankly, it is the worst display of governance I have ever seen, and all of you should be ashamed. This is not a circus, but I now understand why residents are using that word. Leave politics outside to this chamber and govern. The people of Kissimmee elected you to do business for the public, not for personal interest, not for political allies, and not to line anyone's pocket with taxpayer money. Every single one of you needs to speak out. This is not a strong mayor system. This is a city manager form of government. No one person should be determining how this board moves. We did not elect one individual. We elect 5 commissioners. When one person's behavior goes unchecked, it reflects on all of you. You are a board, and collective silence makes you complicit.
Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Jeremy Fetzer, you're up next. Excuse me, ma'am, you're out of order. Point of order, point of order, point of order. Next time, this person will have to get removed because this constant point of order disrespect. Mr.
Jeremy
Fetzer, your
Fetzer,
time is on. 3
120
minutes,
Broadway.
please.
Jeremy Fetzer, 120 Broadway, Suite 304. I just wanted to say thank you to this board. This last weekend's MLK Day event was amazing. So much goes into the Parks Department, to the Recreation Department. You guys do an amazing job and continually give back to this community. So I just want to come up here and say thank you to all of you guys. I appreciate it and have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Fetzer. Mr. Thomas Kapp, you're on next. Please, 3 minutes, name and address for the record. You pass? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Moving right along. We will move on to the consent agenda. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion to approve by Vice Mayor Edie, second by Commissioner Martinez. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We move right on to discussion items. 8A, appeal of the Development Review Committee decision to renew a conditional use special event permit approval for food trucks at 1985 South John Young Parkway. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. This is a request for the Commission to consider an appeal of the Development Review Committee decision to approve the conditional use special event permit for food trucks at 1985 South John Young Parkway. On August 20th, 2025, the Planning Advisory Board approved the conditional use application. Within that approval was a condition number 2, that the approval was valid for only a period of 90 days, which ended on November 20th, 2025. The Development Review Committee reviewed the application at that time and voted to move forward with allowing the event to continue, or the permit to continue. On September 3rd, 2025, the City Commission voted 3-1 to implement a moratorium on new applications for special event permits with food trucks until such time as an ordinance could be revised and readopted to address the concerns that the Commission expressed at that September 3rd Commission meeting. Because the DRC's decision is after the moratorium was put into effect, I felt like it was important to appeal the decision, to give the Commission the opportunity to convey whether or not you agree that the Development Review Committee should have approved that, or whether it should have been subject to the moratorium that was in place. So that is why I appealed this, to bring it to you, to give you an opportunity to make that determination.
Thank you. Sorry. Now we move on to discussion. Commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to discuss on this?
I do, Madam Mayor. I'm going to be recusing myself from voting on this item. I've already signed the form. I got legal counsel from our city attorney. I've also provided the document to our city clerk. So I will not be voting on the item, but I do want to discuss a few things. I happened to see the email that the city manager sent. He's appealing this on behalf of the city commission. So just to clarify, when you say on behalf of the city commission, I would like to know who, because I'm not asking for an appeal.
City Commission. City Commission voted 3-1 to implement the moratorium. And so because 3 commissioners voted to enact a moratorium, that action is effective, and therefore any reconsideration of the approval and determination as to whether or not the moratorium applies to that reconsideration is, in my opinion, was subject to the City Commission to review.
Okay.
So really, it's not on behalf of the city commissioners, it's on behalf of the City Commission as a body.
Okay. Also, to follow on that same, when the moratorium was in effect, we spoke clearly on the record that this was for new businesses. Existing businesses already, they were already approved. This is a renewal of an application, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not voting on it, but I wanted to point out a few things. There's an email inside our packet. I don't know if you guys have it, but it talks about the approval and the renewal of the above reference. As I did my search on this, there are no violations. The applicant has complied with everything to the best of my knowledge, unless the city of Kissimmee or our staff can appoint and say that there has been violations on there. So I just want to let the board know that, just caution that it's a renewal. It's not a new application. When the renewal happened, based on what I've done my research on, it was not a charge as well because it's not a new application. It's an existing application. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for the time.
Thank you. I know we have 2 speakers that want to touch on this. 8A, Lysandra Roman, would you come up to the podium, please? You have 3 minutes, name and address for the record, at which time at 3 minutes, the microphone will be turned off.
My name is Lysandra Roman. I am the applicant and the owner of Lechonera El Jibarito and the Jibarito food truck spot. I opened this business because I love the city of Kissimmee. I believe in small businesses, in community, and in doing things the right way. That's why I followed the process exactly as required. I filed all paperwork, hired an architect, an engineer, paid all application fees, attended every meeting, and complied with every rule and regulation. This process took nearly a year, and there are no violations. I want to be very clear about one important fact. This is not a new permit. This is a renewal of an existing permit. When the moratorium was put in place, it was clearly stated by the city manager that it applied to new applications, not to existing permits like mine. My renewal was submitted properly, accepted as a renewal, and did not require new application or new fees. The written correspondence confirms this. I have also demonstrated for more than 90 days that this operation is responsible, compliant, and respectful of the rules. We support other small business owners and contribute to this city. I have run for public office in the past, not for personal gain, but because I love my city and believe in civic engagement. I should never be punished for participating in the democratic process. Today, there are members of this board who were once my political opponents, and I sincerely hope that this situation is not politically motivated. However, I must raise serious concerns about fairness and due process. The city manager has stated that this is appealing this matter on behalf of the city commission, while the city commission is also the body being asked to decide the outcome. Respectfully, that places the commission in the position of being both the complainant and the decision maker. This is not a fair process, this is not impartial, and it raises serious concerns under the basic principles of due process and the City of Kissimmee Charter, which requires fairness and equal treatment. I am asking this board one simple thing, an explanation If I have complied with all requirements, violated no rules, and submitted lawful renewal, why is my permit being appealed and terminated? Kissimmee proudly says it's open for business. That promise must apply equally. Small business owners like me are not asking for special treatment. We are asking for fair treatment. I respectfully ask this board to reconsider these actions and allow me to continue operating my business lawfully while this matter is handled appropriately. Thank you.
Thank you. Celia Burgos. Name and address for the record, please. 3 minutes, at which time the microphone will be turned off. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name's Celia Burgos, 711 South Emory Avenue, Kissimmee, 34741. My mom is Lisandra Roman, and I'm here respectfully asking the board to reconsider taking away the permit for the food trucks. We've done everything that's been asked of us. We've followed every rule, every guideline, and there are no violations. We are a small family business simply trying to survive and grow. I'm 21 years old. I'm a mother to a 1-year-old. And I've used all of my savings to purchase a food truck so I can work at this location. I have not even had the opportunity to begin operating, and it's heartbreaking to see the sacrifices that my mom has made now placed at risk for no clear reason. My mother has worked tirelessly to open this location the right way. Seeing it potentially taken away despite full compliance does not feel fair. As a young person, watching how this process works has been extremely discouraging. I know civic participation is important. I believe in voting and being involved, but it's hard to stay hopeful when it feels like participation can come with consequences rather than support. My mother's only crime has been loving the city of Kissimmee, believing in her community, and exercising her right to participate in the political process. That should never be punished. Because of this situation, not only is she affected, I'm affected and my child's future is affected. I'm simply asking for the chance to work, to provide for my family, and to build something honest and legal. If we had broken the rules, I would totally understand the consequences, but we did not. We followed every rule and every requirement. Any agency you check will show that there are no violations. I respectfully urge this board to act fairly and reconsider this decision. We vote, we show up, we ask for help when we need it. Today, I'm here face-to-face asking you, please do not take away this permit for reasons unrelated to compliance. Allow us to grow, allow us to build, and allow us to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burgos. Appreciate it. City Manager, just quick discussion on this. There are several different special events, but I understand the challenge with this one is the food trucks. So it's not just applying for a special event, which is an alternative.
Right. The Commission's moratorium was specific to food trucks approved through the special event permit process.
So the special event would allow them to still conduct business or no because of the food trucks?
Well, the special event that they're hosting is a food truck event. So I don't know how you do it without having the food trucks there.
Right, right. That's the challenge. Okay, Commissioners, do you have any other comments? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, quick question. Who's all impacted with this? That's my first question.
I'm sorry?
Who's all impacted with this initiative? Is this just one?
Oh, in terms of applicants?
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have any other pending
Just one?
applications. Correct.
Okay, my second question is, what does staff recommend?
Well, the staff recommended, the DRC approved the request.
Okay. So what is there a major issue here?
Really, the question is, because I sat through this September 3rd meeting and I heard very clearly that the City Commission did not agree with the Planning Board's decision. However, we couldn't appeal it at that time because it didn't become known to this commission until after the appeal period was expired. Right. Okay. So with the condition on the approval that was granted by the Planning Advisory Board in August, that this permit only be valid for 90 days, after the 90 days was up, you know, my mentality was I needed to give you guys the opportunity to make a determination as to whether or not you intended that moratorium to apply to this particular situation after the 90 days because once the 90 days was up, it's no longer valid until it's reapproved.
Okay.
So they're at that 90-day window right now, is that my understanding?
No, they passed it, they went through the process, they got approved by the Development Review Committee.
So they've done everything that's needed?
Yes, the
That's
statements
required.
made that there was no violations is correct.
Okay,
Okay, so.
all right. Any further discussion? Commissioner Ortiz, you've been recognized.
I would like to know what is the definition of the special event specific. I want to be a clear answer, specific,
He asked, what's the definition of a
Yes.
special events?
special event.
Special event is an activity, a temporary activity that is not normally conducted on the property upon which is requested. So it's something where a business or a property owner seeks to do a one-time thing or a temporary activity on a portion of the property that's not been approved for that use. So if, for example, a festival in a parking lot, some sort of an event in like on a field or something that didn't, wasn't specifically approved for that use.
That means it's not they had to do the same thing every day, like from Monday to Sunday, had to be once a month or every single day is a special event.
So if the way the city code reads for special events, you can get special event approval in three different ways. The most common ways and the way we handle most special events is you can get approval for, if you have a single use site, you can have 20 special events a year. If you have a multi-tenant site, you can have 30 special events a year, or you can go through the process that they went through, get conditional use approval to have your special event approved as something that's always going to exist on that property on a temporary basis. So I think in this case, it's Friday and Saturday nights for every night in perpetuity was what the intent was, and that approval would run with the land or run with the property. I think what this board expressed on the September 3rd discussion was that you did not like the interpretation that conditional uses, or at least the way the code was written, to allow a special events to be approved through the conditional use process. And so that is what we are taking a look at with the code revision, to limit special events with food trucks to only those that are authorized through the typical special event process. This was either the 20 or the 30 days, depending on how many uses you have on that site.
Thank you. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Commissioner? City Manager, I think one of the concerns here is that we don't want this applicant is kind of unique in and of itself because it kind of started during or prior to the discussions of food trucks, and then it kind of rolled into, kind of timing was the issue here, more so than the food trucks. I am concerned moving forward of any other applicants. Of course, with the moratorium, we are protected with
Yes.
that. And that the concern comes from our developers and people that are interested in the bigger picture of Kissimmee.
Right.
We did see what happened at the Mill Creek Mall area, and that was in and of itself quite challenging for our city and for the police department as well. And we don't want to dilute those efforts. We don't want to dilute the efforts of our police force. The fact is that this applicant has not had issues thus far. Is there any way that we can table this so that we can have further discussion and perhaps create something very specific and particular to this applicant? And in my efforts to continue with my theme of we're open for business, which is accurate, is there any way we can table this, or perhaps your guidance in this would help us get to a conclusion where everyone can...
what you could do is the Development Review Committee approval included an additional 90-day period.
Okay.
So they have to re-review it again in 90 days. You could say, okay, we're not going to overturn the DRC's decision. That permit becomes valid for 90 days, and then it'll come back to the DRC again. And if at that time there's no further violations, or I shouldn't say further, there was no violations to begin with, but if there are no violations, no issues with the police or anything like that, and DRC approves it, I won't appeal it to you guys.
Correct.
Sounds-
And I'm sorry, if I finished my statement.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I guess my point to this is, can we look carefully at the provisions that are on this specific permit? Perhaps we can tighten up here or there to make sure that we're not open to situations, again, including the 90-day for revision of making sure everything is within its proper contentions here. But, I mean, I understand the point, and we're not here trying to disengage smaller businesses that are within it. I do fear and caution food parks, and I think there's a place for them. The fact is, they're not in our downtown, and this is the heart of downtown. They're more, they're more isolated, if you will. But there are other concerns, and again, I'd like to be able to speak to, the chief and you on this and make sure that everyone's kind of covered. So do we table this? Do we allow the 90 days? Do we, what's your suggestion? on
My
how to move?
recommendation is that it's because they've had a clean operation for the first 90 days, give them another 90.
Okay.
And see how it goes. We've been very careful to watch what's going on there. There are residents nearby. We haven't gotten any complaints or anything of the sort, but we are monitoring the situation. And thus far, they've done a good job upholding the conditions.
Okay. So if the commissioners and our board here would entertain a motion to approve this review, I guess is what it's called. I'm not sure if it's
To reevaluate it in 90 days?
in 90 days for the development. I mean, I don't know exactly how to call this.
What you
and
can do
not-
is make a motion to uphold the Development Review Committee's decision, and inherent in their decision is the condition to come back in 90 days.
And every 90 days, we can revisit this if we had to. But right now, I just feel that there's a few loose ends I'd like to tighten up before we make a decision that's kind of drastic in nature. So I'd like to call a motion to,
Motion to approve.
do you need me to be more specific on that motion, Madam Clerk?
Yes, please.
Thank
Madam
you.
Mayor.
So please don't call a second until I'm done
okay.
calling this.
She had
Do
something
you
to
have a comment?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
You have been recognized, Commissioner Martinez. What's your comment?
When you say that we'll look closely in it, what are you referring to?
I'm referring to having a meeting with city manager and discussing concerns that might arise. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just asking to see because when it comes up again, I just wanted to be aware.
You will be.
Thank you.
You will be. Thank you. Now, I'd like to call a motion to approve this for the next 90 days, to approve the permit for food trucks at 1985 South John Young Parkway.
Second.
I have a second by Vice Mayor Angela Eady. All in favor?
Aye. Everyone
Everyone has voted aye, with the exception of Commissioner Martinez, because she's abstaining from this. Is that,
Wait,
you have a nay? Okay, so Commissioner Ortiz is a nay.
Thank you.
The rest of us are ayes, and Commissioner Martinez has abstained. Thank you. Is that clear enough? Did you need more clarity on that? Are you okay, Madam Clerk? I want to make sure you,
So we're doing a motion to approve and uphold the DRC decision for 90 days
correct,
pending administrative meetings?
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it going to come back at all to City Commission?
90
Or it
days.
will continue to go back to DRC for another 90 days?
The way the original condition, and I don't know, Development Services, Craig, you're back there. The condition was to bring it back to DRC, similar process they just went through in 90 days, correct?
Correct.
Or maybe I should be calling on Brenda.
It's good. Good suggestion.
Sorry.
Yes, that is correct. To bring it back to the April 7th, 2026 DRC.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we would just like to make it clear that the DRC will be the end-all, be-all. It won't come back to City Commission. It won't come through a city manager appeal.
That's fine.
Okay.
By then, we'll have point of clarity.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. City Manager?
Yeah, and the reality is, if there's issues, DRC won't approve it, or if they approve it and you guys are uncomfortable with, the issues going on there, we can appeal it. I can appeal it again and bring it back to this board.
Thank you. Appreciate that point of clarity.
And at some point in the future, the ordinance will be revised where the commission reviews conditional uses going forward. So these types of decisions would come to you on a permanent basis once that ordinance is revised.
Perfect, and that will allow us to always have clarity right up front
Yes.
without having to go back and forth with this. That's wonderful. Thank you, City Manager, for your guidance. Thank you, Madam Clerk, for putting that, and thank you, Ms. Bryan, for coming right up and clearing us up. Appreciate it. Ms. Roman, you're fine now at this point, and Ms. Celia, thank you for your comments this evening. They're valuable. Okay, so now we've moved on to hear city officials. City Manager, any comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. I just want to congratulate you on a very successful retreat that we had last Friday. We spent the whole day in this room talking about the priorities for next fiscal year, and there's some really exciting things happening in Kissimmee, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming year and all the great things that are going to occur within both our downtown, our airport, our medical district, and all across our neighborhoods in Kissimmee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited about that. City Attorney?
I don't have anything this evening, thank you.
Thank you. City Commission, start with Commissioner Martinez.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I just want to give a huge shout out to my husband, who is his birthday today, and I am here with all of you guys, and when we leave here, we will go celebrate him. So thank you. Nothing further, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. City Commissioner Alvarez?
I have nothing at the time, Mayor.
Thank you. Commissioner Ortiz?
For now, I don't have anything to say.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor Edie?
Sure. I sense that there is a lot of tension in this room. And I'm going to try to address it, but I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes, so don't nobody take this that I'm targeting them. I just want to live in unity, and I think everybody else should too. We don't have to be each other's enemies just because we don't see eye to eye on an initiative. We live all together in the same city, so we should want each and every one to get along. And if you strive, you will thrive. But you can't do that if you got anger and rage and hate inside of you. And so I'm asking, let's just all focus on working together as a unified city, because you know what? We're going to do better if we work together. But as long as there's division, it's not gonna work. The word said, a house divided will fall. So, and I'm trying to alleviate the city from falling by trying to bring everything together, but I can't do it by myself. I'm not going to even try to do it by myself. So it's going to take all 80-some thousand people that live in this city to make this initiative happen. So let's just focus on the positive and get rid of the negativity that's going on here and erase this tension that's going on. I mean, it's like the size of a porterhouse steak almost, is so thick. And it's not necessary. We don't have to live like this. And that's it, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Everyone have a wonderful week. This meeting is adjourned.